Hello, good morning, traders.
Good morning, sir.
All right, good morning. Welcome.
How was your night?
Very fine, thank you. And
Thank you
yours?
very much. Fine, thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you, man. Okay, I want to welcome everyone. It's a brand new day. Today is Wednesday, the 24th of April, 2024. This month is going again. Just some few days to the end of the month. Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Good morning, Mr. Jude, and every other person that is just joining us. All right, today we can see the fundamentals on the screen. Morning, sir. We can see the fundamentals on the screen, and the main high impact event for the day already happened overnight, and that is CPI from Australia, which was good, for the Australian dollar. Then by 9 a.m. we have German IFO business climate, which is for the euro. 1:30 p.m. we have core retail sales for Canada. Same 1:30 p.m. core durable good orders from the United States and durable good orders all from the United States. And remaining part of the day, the New Zealand is having bank holiday, and Australia is also having bank holiday. So in other words, we're left with medium impact events to trade for the day. Now, being as medium impact, we still normally medium impact event don't carry as much volatility, as a high impact event. But then the one we have by 1:30 from Canada, core retail sales and retail sales. Now this, generally are events that really move the market, and we should not downplay because it's medium impact. It's a 50-50 thing. It's a medium impact. It may move, it may not move. Our own is to trade with as much caution as much as possible. So that being said, by 9 o'clock, we have the German IFO business climate. We need to take note of that. We'll also look at the Europeans and how they may react to this news. So, but this one is just a one-item event, which is very, very straightforward. If the actual is greater than the forecast, we are looking to buy. But let me not just say that, let's open it. It's always good to just, be very sure and not just assume. So I'll click on the details. So German IFO business climate measures the level of composite index based on surveyed manufacturers, builders, wholesalers, services, and retailers. And actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. All right, so we know that. So by 9 o'clock, if the forecast is 88.9. So if the actual is greater than this figure, that is from 89 points, anything above 89.0, 89.9 above, it means we are looking to buy the euro. And if the data is less than 88.9, maybe 88.8 and below, we'll be looking at selling the euro. But take note, it's medium impact, so this may not really move the market much. So let's just have that at the back of our mind. And by 1:30 p.m., now for the core retail sales and the retail sales, though, in the afternoon analysis, we'll still look more closely at this. Whatever I'm saying now is just, giving you a heads up ahead of what will still happen in the afternoon analysis. The core retail sales is the change in the total value of sales at the retail level, excluding automobiles. And actual greater than forecast is good for the currency, while the retail sales is the change in the total value of sales at the retail level. Actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. All right. So this one are closely related. Now here, the forecast is 0%. The forecast is 0.1%. So if the actual comes out greater for the two scenarios, if you have actual greater than the forecast, we'll be looking to buy the card. And in that case, we'll be expecting the color to be green. If you have a green, we'll be buying the Canadian dollar. And if on the other side, it turns out to be a red, we'll be looking to sell the Canadian dollar. Like I said, even though it's looking like medium impact, it may turn volatile. It's a 50-50 thing. It may be volatile. It may be mid-range volatility. Any of it will happen. It all depends on how the market reacts and also the technical setup we have ahead of this event. And simultaneously, it will be happening with the core durable good orders and durable good orders from the United States. Now, for these core durable good orders, again, actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. And for the durable good orders, actual is also greater than forecast is good for the currency. So for this one also, if you end up with a green, we'll be looking at buying the American dollar. And if it turns out to be a red, we'll be looking at selling, the dollar. So let's take note of all this ahead of the event. I'll flip over now to my MetaTrader and we'll look at, possible trade setup, for this event. But before we go deeply into that, I want to just quickly give us an update of the weekly market outlook, which, was dropped on Monday. Majority of all the peers that were dropped have really, massively reacted to the analysis, as in gone positively in the direction of the analysis. That's why one of the best tools you need to trade the forex market at this time is you laying your hands on that weekly market outlook. It already gives you a heads up of what will happen for the week. Your duty is just to follow the trend, trade with the trend, and make the money. Now, AED/USD was one of the instruments that was given. If you will go back to check the outlook, and we've been looking at these instruments since last week. Remember then when I said it may form, an inverse head and shoulder on the 4-hour. Though I said this on Monday that inverse head and shoulder may not appear as perfect as we think it should, but notwithstanding, I expect this instrument to go up. And that has happened. It has broken the minor resistance level I expected it to break. And it already hit Fibonacci 50. I think my entry level was around Fibonacci 38.2. I'll confirm again from the manual, from the weekly outlook. Price broke Fibonacci 50 at about 32 pips, and it has gone as high as 54. I believe it will still proceed to hit Fibonacci 61.8 up there in the course. Today is still Wednesday, so there's still time and there's still room. It's just experiencing a retracement at the moment. I believe it may still continue at least to hit Fibonacci, 61.8. But so far so good. We've gained about 50 pips on AUD/USD, and other one, I think I gave about 10 trade calls or so. Yeah, I did about 10. I have about 9. I have update on 9 of them now, all in profit. New Zealand USD is also another one I gave, which was bullish. Now, this one has actually broken out above the entry, but it has not really moved so much. This one has not moved so much. It's just around the entry point. So let's just leave that one out of the update. There's still room for improvement. Next one I gave is the Euro CHF. The Euro CHF. All right, this is the Euro CHF, and it has gone massively in the line, of the analysis. Has broken out. This one also has broken out, and price has hit Fibonacci 61.8. I think the entry was Fibonacci 38 points. I think it was around 38.2 or 50 thereabout. I'll confirm again, but at least so far so good. This one has enjoyed some appreciable bullish movement. Yesterday, or was it Monday, I gave the call. I think that should be yesterday. I gave the call on Euro GBP. I gave a sell trade call on Euro GBP. I posted the entry and the profit taking level for Euro GBP, and the price has gone in line. I gave a bearish outlook. I don't know if you can still remember. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think my profit taking level is supposed to be Fibonacci 50 and 61.8. Price is yet to hit 50 and 61.8, but so far so good. From the entry point, which was around here, it has dropped by about 10 pips, or let's say around 16 pips. Now, I remember mentioning that this instrument is not so volatile, so it's still understandable. But I believe if you're on that trade, you can still hold it. It will still proceed down to Fibonacci 50. And Also, I gave a trade call on USD card. That's the one I sent the updates, to the group yesterday on the WhatsApp group. I remember vividly telling us to enter a sell on Monday for USD card on the 4 hour for those who trade swing. And as at that time, price was somewhere around here, and so far it has done 60 pips. This price level here is Fibonacci 650 or so. That's the first take profit level. Price already hit that level. Is experiencing a retracement at the moment. Now, if you remember, I said yesterday at the analysis in the afternoon that if the news from the United States yesterday afternoon does not favor the dollar, that Euro card, USD card will drop. And that is what happened right here. So even ahead, this analysis is kind of predictive of what will happen in the market, because we gave this outlook on Monday and you can see over 60 pips already made. I still believe it may proceed down to 61.8. Now, I'm not saying enter a sell now. If you are not on it, please just stay out. We'll give you a fresh one. This is not, we don't see the way I trade. I look for perfect entry. So it's already moving in the course of, the analysis given. Which other one? I have quite a number. I'll just run through them in a minute and we'll start the analysis of the AED card is also one I gave. This one is really sweet. It has really moved in line with the analysis, with the weekly outlook. That's already hit Fibonacci 50. The entry should be around Fibonacci 23.6. So Fibonacci 50 has done about 55 pips. In all, it has done about 76, pips. You can verify from the outlook yourself. And Euro New Zealand, I told us on Monday to be looking at either Monday or yesterday, for those who are swing traders, we're looking at this instrument. Like I said, if price breaks below this, neckline, that's a rectangle pattern, then it will be a time to sell. So you can see it's really forming the head and shoulder pattern, and we'll keep looking at it. The other thing that will happen is that price may want to follow this previous pattern. You can see this small eye here. This one too may have a small one before a breakout, or maybe a bigger one before a breakout. But ultimately, what I'm expecting is a breakout below the rectangle box. So if you're a swing trader, patience is the key thing here. So you can still, patiently follow that setup. And the last two I give for the week is the DJ30, which I said is a swing on 4 hour. Though I said if you can enter on the lower time frame, perfect. And that has gone in the direction of the analysis. I think entries around here, it has done about 247 pips. And NAS 100, this one is a very sweet one. NAS 100 entry was Fibonacci 23.6. It has gone as high as 320 pips. So please, when we give out these materials, don't just leave it lying down, don't leave it lying down on your phone. When we give, somebody was asking me on Monday, but you did not give signal. I said we give signal, but it's in a book. And they say something that when you put an information in a book, an African man will not read it. There's no, I'm going to be posting entry for all 10 instruments and take profit level in a live class. That would be too burdensome. That's why I put it in the book. So we'll put it in the book, in the PDF material. Please click it and use. We give you insights for making money. Some people actually use this, and many have testified to having very good trades, profitable trades in the course of the week. So we've guided you with all these tools, to make money from the forex market. So please make sure you are using it to make money. All right, let me get back to what I was doing earlier, which is the analysis for today. Okay, Mr. Williams is saying Euro New Zealand is currently trading around a psychological level. So let me confirm that. Yes, you are perfectly correct. That's around 1.80076. That's where it is, but it's just around the psychological level, like you said. So if price breaks that psychological level downwards, then we expect, price to really go massively bearish. Thank you, Mr. John, for that. Thank you, Mr. John, for that review. Because I tell you, hundreds and hundreds of pips has been generated between Monday and today. And that's one thing with the weekly outlook. Once we drop it on Monday, by Wednesday, at least minimum of 200 pips have been generated. So if you have been sleeping on it all along, this is not the time to sleep. It's the time to wake up and make money. Okay, so let's look at what we have for today. We're looking at the fundamentals, and the key event for today is the news from Canada and the United States, but most especially the one from Canada. The United States, even the one from Canada and the United States, we still have. I think we should just leave it. My other colleague would do a better job in the afternoon because markets might still react, before then. So I think I'll just leave it for Mr. Michael to undo all that. So let's go into the technicals I have for this morning. The essence of this morning analysis is actually the analysis for the morning, the London session. That's the primary purpose. That's why we have the afternoon session. So let's leave the afternoon events to the afternoon analysis. Now, this morning, I have some trade setup that, I believe should evolve in the course of today. And the first one I'm seeing here is the BTC USD. I've been on this instrument since yesterday. I even thought it will have broken out overnight, because as of yesterday when I was leaving office, I was seeing a head and shoulder here, But then I woke up this morning, I saw that it has gone up again. I was like, okay, what's going on? But then everything is still good because currently we have an established resistance level up here, and price has touched it 3 times. That's what we call a triple top pattern, at close range. That's a triple top pattern. A triple top pattern in a rising wedge, it's a valid bearish, reversal pattern. So we're looking at bearish opportunity on the BTC. So if you're a BTC trader, this is a trade setup for you to watch today. And I also have a minor support level here, which, if it had been a head and shoulder, that would have been like the neckline. But here we're having a triple top. We really don't have anything like a neckline for triple top, but we have a minor support level that I believe price should break before we start considering a bearish trade call. So if price breaks out of here, I will advise not to enter yet until price breaks out below this rectangle. Then you can make your entry on BTC USD, because if price breaks out and hits this minor support, it can still reverse up. So that's why the important thing is that price breaks this support level, then we can have a bearish breakout. And you can use the Fibonacci levels, to gauge the entry for this call. So price is expected to break and target the Fibonacci levels. At least price should get to Fibonacci 38.2. And upon breaking Fibonacci 38.2, can proceed to Fibonacci 50 and possibly Fibonacci 61.8. So let's watch this closely. If you're a BTC trader, this is your trade call for today. It's intraday, it's 1 hour. So this is expected to trigger in the course of today, except if the market structure changes. We don't control the market. We only use our skill and experience to guide you on the instruments to trade. That's BTC. Now, then the second instrument that we're looking at today is this New Zealand card. But I would also be a bit cautious about this instrument today because there is no news from New Zealand, though there's going to be a news from Canada in the afternoon. So I remember I gave this call yesterday. I think I did give a call on this one, a bullish call on this, and it should have triggered into entry because price was, I think, somewhere around here when I gave the call, and this blue line here is the entry. So if you took that call yesterday, it will have triggered your entry. If you have not taken it at all, just relax and wait for the news from Canada by 1:30 p.m. Yesterday I said it that if the news does not favor the dollar, I expected AUD, GBP USD, AUD USD, and I think Euro. No, I didn't mention Euro USD. I mentioned GBP USD, AUD, USD, and another instrument.
New Zealand.
USD CHF. Yeah, USD CHF was the third. I expected it to buy, and that's what happened. Now, this afternoon also, there's going to be news from Canada. If the news does not favor the card, then this New Zealand card will break out, into its bullish direction if the news does not favor the card. Because if the news does not favor the card, it means that the card is going to sell. And if the card is going to sell, it means New Zealand card will buy. So if you have entered, relax, put a stop loss in place. I think I gave you the stop loss yesterday. If you have not entered, just hold on till it's about time for the news. If the news this afternoon does not favor CAD, then the New Zealand CAD will continue bullish. And the third instrument I want to look at this morning is the Euro JPY. Now, Euro JPY, now the JPY pairs that will be traded with a lot of caution. I said it on Monday that there were many, I had almost like 17 trades set up for this week, but I had to limit myself to 10 because I also, as much as possible, try not to give too many setup or signals in case something happens along the line. That's why I give 10. For the JPY pairs, they were massively bullish. I saw massively bullish setup, like the AUD JPY, can see it went up just in line. It was very perfect analysis, but I couldn't just give up. I had to just limit myself. Now, Euro JPY it looks like the bullish breakout is going to take a break, and we might experience maybe some, not necessarily a reversal, will be some retracement, because on the daily time frame, I can clearly see that I have a trend line there connecting these 3 points. And on the 1 hour, we might experience, some bearish movement. So we have an uptrend on the daily, and we have a rising wedge on the 1 hour. If this plays out, then I expect price to break out in the bearish direction on Euro JPY. So I'm bearish on Euro JPY for today. And finally, I'll take a look at gold. Now, I remember telling us that I held a bearish outlook on gold, even though because of the ongoing crisis between, Israel and Iran, if it escalated, we expected a bullish breakout, But then yesterday, and because of that issue, I was even being careful of giving a signal. But I remember saying on Monday that if price breaks out below this rectangle, we may be able to trigger a sell on gold. But then I still didn't give any trade call eventually on that. But now there's a trade setup I'm seeing. This is gold on the daily time frame, and I have an uptrend line here. And the candle of yesterday was a rejection candle on the trend line from the daily time frame, the uptrend on the daily time frame. This is what I see that will happen to gold now. I perceive gold will make a bullish movement. Eventually, gold may end up being a double top and a breakout downwards, but that is in the futuristic. For now, the possibility for today is that price, we have a rejection candle and we expect a bullish movement. That is the one that is very, very likely to happen for today. So I'll flip down to 1 hour time frame. And on 1 hour, what I'm seeing here is an inverse head and shoulder pattern information, which will lead to a bullish breakout. So how do we make entry on this? 2 things. We know the news, there's going to be news in the afternoon, for the United States. You should take note of that. That might, if that news comes out not to favor the dollar, it will lead to the bullish movement of gold. But then we have a neckline region here also. But I will advise we wait for that news to break out before we make entry, because we never can tell. Price could break out above this neckline before the news. But by and large, I'll advise you wait for that news. Even if price breaks out of the neckline before the news, I will advise you still wait for that news before you make entry. But then I hold a bullish outlook on gold for today. A rejection candle on the daily time frame and an inverse head and shoulder on 1 hour. So we are bullish on gold. All right, so that's all the instruments I am personally analyzing for today: BTC USD, New Zealand CAD, Euro JPY, and gold. If we see another setup in the course of the day, definitely we'll update you on that. So if you have anything you want me to analyze, you can just post it. Mr. Paul.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir. So Patrick is asking about GBP JPY. All right, I'll do that in a second. Okay, just like we have on the Euro JPY, the GBP JPY is trading around a resistance level on the daily time frame. It's even a range. Like I said, there are times when we have to just leave out some signals in quotes because we are trying not to overtrade. Like yesterday, I actually saw. You remember when I was giving the Euro GBP yesterday? I said I saw that one, but I was trying to avoid multiple signals. This was an inverse head and shoulder I saw on the Euro JPY, which eventually went massive. But that's gone. Well, we're looking at today now. This is GBP JPY on the daily. We have price trading at a resistance level on the daily time frame. Let's go down to 15 minutes and see. Oh, not clear it on 15 minutes. But we might be looking at the bearish movement. Though currently, I am not seeing anything within my trading plan on how to make entry on this. But if it ends up as a head and shoulder, then we may sell. I'm not seeing a trend line. I'm not seeing a rising wedge, but if it ends up as a head and shoulder, then we may look at a bearish trade. This region becomes the neckline. So it's not too clear at the moment how to trade this, except it evolves into a pattern like this. But then because it's a resistance, we may be looking out, to see in the course of the day if a clearer entry pattern will appear for us to trade the GBP JPY. So I hope that's clear to Mr. Chicks. That's Mr. Paul Chicks. All right, Mr. Daniel Essien, Euro USD. Now for Euro USD, if you look at the dollar index, I gave it on Monday that price will go back to hit this resistance and drop from there. And that has happened exactly that way. And we ended up with a double top pattern and price has broken out. It's expected to continue going bearish, all things being equal. So if we come down to Euro USD and go to 4-hour time frame, you will see that we also have a double bottom pattern because if the dollar index is double top, Euro USD will likely be a double bottom, or at least it will show us a bullish, the opposite of what the dollar index is saying. But then I would advise that this instrument needs some good volatility to move in the bullish direction. And that's why I didn't mention it in my analysis. I have my reason for that. Because currently there's an inner support turn resistance here. There's a support turn resistance which may lead to a bearish movement. It could break out if there's enough volatility to push, the trade. It's a double bottom that should go up. But if the volatility is not that strong, we may experience, instead of a bullish movement, we may experience some bearish, movement. It may not be a reversal. It may just be some retracement. And that is what is happening currently. You can see that the current few candles looks like it's going downwards. So if you have to trade this, it's meant to be a bullish signal. I will advise you wait for price to break out above the current level for you to trigger a buy. Wait for price to break out above this rectangle to trigger a buy on the Euro USD. BTC, Stella Bamidele. Bamidele. Okay, I don't know. Is this the Bamidele from Unilag? It's like you joined us late. BTC was the first instrument to analyze. Please, let's always come to this analysis on time. Yeah, I know some of us are quite busy. We all appreciate that, but let's try to join at the right time. I already analyzed BTC USD and I said I'm holding the bearish outlook. It's a triple top back pattern on a 1 hour time frame within a rising wedge. So everything is pointing to a bearish outlook on BTC USD. That's what I'm showing you on my screen right now. We're only waiting for price to break this minor support zone, that rectangle, to trigger a sell on BTC USD. So BTC is bearish. AUD USD. Okay, the person asking about AUD USD, are you planning to enter a new trade or you are on a running trade? Because I've given this signal since I think Monday and it's already in progress. Okay, Bambili from Ebekuta. Is it Mr. Okay, let me not, because I know a Mr. Bamidele that we were having some conversations, whether you are the one, sir. So it's been a while we spoke last. For AED USD, if you must, the trend is bullish. I've given this since Monday. The news yesterday pushed it up. But if you must enter a buy again on this, I will advise you make your entry above this current high. If price breaks above this high, then because it's currently experiencing some, it's an uptrend, it's experiencing a retracement, it should continue. So if price breaks above this current high, you can trigger a buy and you can look at profit taking. It's meant to approach Fibonacci 61.8, which is just some few pips away. I don't know if it will get to Fibonacci 78.2. That one I can't say. The most guaranteed levels are Fibonacci 50 and 61.8. I think it's just not bother about ADS. If you are not already on the trade on it, I think you should not just bother because the next profit taking level is Fibonacci 61.8. And if you're making entry about the current high, that's just some 7 pips or 8 pips away. That's way too close. 78.6 is not a guaranteed level. It only happens in periods of extreme volatility. So I will advise that person to look out for new trades. If you are not already on the trade on AUD, please look out for the new setup I gave for today. Those ones are fresh trades that will break out. You're welcome, Mr. Paul. Mr. Michael, okay, GBP/USD. Okay. GBP/USD, for GBP/USD, there might be some range today. It may range because we don't really have very strong volatile setup in the market. And aside that, this is what I'm seeing on GBP/USD. I'm seeing this is on the daily time frame. You have price bouncing off this trend line, second and third, and this is the fourth time. We actually expect a bullish breakout, which happened already yesterday, because on Monday it was a rejection candle, and that pushed the candle for yesterday. But a closer look with experience, I'm seeing that this will end up as an inverse head and shoulder pattern for a much more massive breakout. But you can see this first shoulder. Let's see how many candles form the first shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, as I say, it may experience a range before it finally breaks out. See, this is a range here. It may have, this one will not just go up, it will obey the pattern. So we may experience a range in the coming few days, at least maybe this week, except if there is just some fundamentals that override, and we don't really have any massive fundamental event that could override the markets as of today. I'm talking on experience basis. I don't own the market. It may change, but that's what I'm seeing from my experience, point of view. So I will advise to be very, very careful about taking a trade on GBP/USD for now. Because if we come down to 4 hour also, see the range. This is what I said. We may have a similar scenario, except you're a scalper. We may have a similar scenario before we have a final, bullish breakout. So if you are to trade GBP/USD now, I will advise you trade with a lot of caution. NAS 100. NAS 100 already broke out for my analysis for the week. Let's check. Will it continue further? Most likely, yes. from the setup I gave, it already broke out. Like I said, it generated over 270 pips between Monday and today. It's yet to hit Fibonacci 50, but we may experience a retracement before we have a further continuation. What I will advise is this. Let's flip down to 15 minutes time frame. There's nothing much happening on 15 minutes, even on 1 hour. So let's still go at 15 minutes. What I can suggest on NAS 100 is this: wait for a breakout above this level. If price, but you can see it's currently in a range. If price breaks out above this level, it may continue, going in that bullish direction. But if you have not entered a trade on this, honestly, I will advise you wait for a fresh trade. That's the truth. It may, I'm not saying it won't go up, but for me, I always prefer making entries, perfect entries, not just in the middle kind of entry. If you took this setup when I sent it on Monday, then you will be in profit now. All you need to do is just to lock in your profit by shifting your stop loss. You do trailing stop, manual trailing stop. But if you have not entered yet, so for me, I may not advise you make an entry now because you don't have a perfect entry. You don't want to do assumption that if it breaks above that level, what if it doesn't break? What if it drops? You understand? So for me, I prefer making perfect entries, and I can't find any perfect entry on NAS 100 for now. But if you find a way to still make entry on your own, there's no problem. The trend is still bullish. So that's my view. I think I've attended to most of the requests. NAS 100. Are we buying gold outlook? Gold is on a bullish outlook. I already gave that. But please always join us early. It's part of my daily analysis. We have a bullish outlook on gold. We expect price to break. We have a rejection candle on a daily time frame and an inverse head and shoulder forming on 1 hour. Gold is expected to. Please, when I draw the arrows I'm drawing is not take profit level. It's just for direction. So don't say, but it drew the arrow is went high up and price is not get there. It's just showing you direction. If you are to look for profit-taking levels, your best tool is your Fibonacci tool. Fibonacci will show you the exact, places where we can take profit. But from my own view, from the inverse head and shoulder I have on 1 hour, like I told Ben earlier, I'll be waiting for price to break above the neckline, which is this rectangle pattern I've drawn here. But then there's a news in the afternoon. It may not be volatile. It may be. We don't know yet. But if price breaks out above this rectangle, it will be a time to trigger a buy on gold. If it happens before the news, I will advise you wait till after the news before you make entry because you don't know how the market, will really react to that news by 1:30 p.m. So we're bullish on gold. If we are bullish on gold, Madam Onaji, means we are going to be bearish on USD CHF. And I remember telling us we were bearish on USD CHF yesterday when we had the news from the United States. But USD CHF did not react well to that news. It actually dropped, but went back. What I think USD CHF is trying to do is trying to complete this double top pattern before dropping. That's what I think it's trying to do. I'm sorry, that may look clumsy to some of us. Let me clean up all the lines. I'm bearish on USD from my weekly outlook. So, but then I think, and that's the more reason why you have to be careful of, buying Euro USD for now too, because you can see that USD is going up. It's trying to target this resistance to form a perfect double top before finally coming down. So if you have to trade USD CHF, I will advise you wait for when it's reversing back downwards, not now. Wait for price to hit the resistance and start trying to make its way downward. So we may go down to 15 minutes to look at possible entry. Let's go to 15 minutes. This is looking clumsy on 15 minutes. Okay, let's look at 30 minutes. That's a little bit better. So we can draw a trend line right here. The second one may not be. We're supposed to have another trend line here. Okay, let's still draw it in anticipation that price will go up there and hit the resistance. Then when it's coming down, you can now trigger a sell. That's my
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
If somebody is already holding a trade there and in a sell, do we wait, or we can close it and wait for it when it is dropping?
It now depends on your level of risk. It depends on your level of risk exposure. If your risk exposure, that is the floating trade now, if it will not affect your capital, you can hold on. Because it's just about 10 pips.
The news in the afternoon too.
Left for me, that news may not move the market much.
Okay, sir.
So it's always good to take caution. That's what I would say. But USD is just 10 pips away from that resistance. If it gets to that resistance, if you are not too exposed, you may leave it. It will reverse.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Ola Solomon is asking about US oil. Okay, so let's look at US oil. For US oil, I will also be very cautious because, you know, like I always say that sometimes when I don't mention some of these instruments, because I've looked at it from many angles, I prefer only talking about the ones that have a high probability. The ones that the probability is very small, I try to avoid them. For US oil, what I see happening, earlier on, some weeks or some months back, we had a breakout, a bearish breakout. I remember this setup when price touched the trend line the first time, second time, and the third time here was a rejection candle. That was 2 weeks ago or so. I said it was going to sell, and that happened. Now, last week Friday, there was this big rejection candle that happened right here. And technically, I felt that should lead to some bearish movement. But on the weekend, I saw that it was, on this support level. That's why I drew this blue line. So I need to go up. Now, what I see happening to US oil, please let's mute our device as we join. What I see happening to US oil is this. This may end up as a head and shoulder before it breaks out. So don't be deceived at that candle that is looking bullish. It may reverse. It may reverse, except it will just go up to touch the trend line, before coming down. But currently, to be honest, on the short term, I'm not seeing a trade on this. Even though it's looking bullish, it does not mean if you should enter a buy. The best place to have entered a buy was when it was at the support level, breaking out upwards. But for now, I'll be very, very cautious. There's no clarity here on any entry point for, a 1 hour or 15 minutes trade. So I will just personally stay out of this for now. Okay, Ms. Abara, the recorded webinar last week, I will speak with the team in charge to find a way to get it across to you. Okay, I think I've attended to all the questions. We're going to end our analysis here. Please, as I always say, trade safe and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Enjoy the day.
God bless you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.